Okay, fine. What we had discussed in the previous class. Can people tell me what we had discussed in the previous class? I just want the heading, that's all, nothing else. Okay. In the day one, I have discussed about full stack web development with Django and REST API. And in the previous class, I have given the complete clarity about what do you mean by full stack, to whom we have to call it as full stack developer, and why there is a demand for full stack developer in the market. Everything in detail I have told. And the next term that happens to be the web development. I spoke about web development. Under web development, clearly I have told about web application. That means what do you mean by web application and how many things will be there under web application. And in order to develop that web application, what and all things that are necessary, everything in detail I have covered. Yes or no? Please do respond. Okay. Every day before going to the next day topic, maybe initial 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes, I would like to revise the previous day topic. That is the reason. When it comes to Django, I have given the clarity about Django. Still, I have to give the clarity about what is REST API. But right now, for the time being, at least, I'm not expecting you to understand 100% about Django. That I will take care. But at least, if you hear the term called as Django, something is there in your mind at this point of time. Previously, I don't know what was there in your mind. At least by this time, something was there in your mind. Very good. Okay, I'll be asking few questions. Just tell yourself the answer. When it comes to Django, Django is open source or closed source? What kind of framework is Django? Open source or closed source? Very good. Django is an open source web framework. Okay. Next. Django will make use of Java or Python? Django will make use of Java or Python? Very good. It will make use of what? Python. Okay. What is the company name which is maintaining the Django framework? Can people tell me the company name? Very good. Django Software Foundation is the company which is maintaining Django framework. Okay. Now think and answer. In which company the Django was created? What is the company name? Very good. The company name happens to be Lawrence Journal World Newspaper. It was an internal project in 2003. At that point of time, they created Django. Okay, sir. Who created Django? Who created Django? Very good. Adrian Holopaty as well as Simon Willison. Is that fine? Simon or Simon, anything that is up to your wish. However you want, you can utter. There is no issue in that. Nobody is going to ask who invented Django in the interview and all. Is that clear? Two people invented Django, and that means when they officially released Django to the market. This you have to tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer. When they released Django to the market. Very good. July 21st, 2005. Okay. And Django was named in the memory of a famous guitarist called as Django Reinhardt. All those things I have told. When it comes to Python, please tell me, which is the official website for Python? Which is the official website for Python? That's why, because being that means if you want to become a Python developer or Django developer 100% on a daily basis, you have to interact with these websites. That is the reason I'm asking these questions. Okay. Which is the official website of Django? Which is the official website of Django? Very good. DjangoProject.com. And how many of them downloaded the official documentation? Yesterday I have told you, right? You have to download the official documentation. Clearly I have told. How many of them downloaded? Okay, at least after downloading that particular documentation, have you gone through that? Okay, fine, very good. At least just tell me how many MB file it is. We'll see. How many MB file? Guys, I just want a genuine response from everyone. For every people, the MB will not change. How many MB file? Okay. 6 MB or 7 MB? I think 6 to 7 MB file, if I'm not wrong. Correct, right? Okay, great. At least have you gone through that? That's very important. Have you ever tried to go through that? Maybe the topics or whatever there in that? Okay, don't worry. Maybe after a couple of days, 100% you'll get the interest to open that official documentation. Gradually, you'll start to look at the official documentation. When it comes to features of Django, in the interview, 100% nobody is going to ask the features of Django. But if in case, if they're asking the features of Django, there are plenty of features that I can tell. Guys, I can tell 20 to 30 features. Why? Because I'm working on Django and REST API. But if I want to categorize the important features, please tell me how many features are there? Important. Top 5 important features. Please tell me one by one. What is the first feature? It is very fast in execution. That is what the first feature of Django. Second feature is it is very secured. Next, fully loaded. Fully loaded. Next, scalability. That means it meets the heavy demands. It may be the 100 user, 1000 user or 1 lakh user. The scalability of Django would remain same. Next, its versatile nature. Versatile nature means very simple. It will be used to develop the small application or a very moderate application or a big application, or it may be the scientific application. That is what I have discussed in the yesterday's class. And one thing, as a Django developer, you need not to take care about everything. Automatically Django will take care. But as a developer, you should be aware of what to use in which place. Is that clear for everyone? Shall I proceed with the day 2 of demo class? Okay, great. Let me just do one thing. Let me just create a new text document that happens to be day 2. I hope everyone would have kept a separate notebook for Django REST API. Yes or no? Guys, please be very quick in responding. Have you kept a separate notebook? I told you, right? There are some certain rules and regulation in my class. While attending the class, while seeing the video, you just sit in front of a sheet of paper and a pen. That's all. You just note down the points, whatever I will tell. In which manner you have to write the notes. Maybe after the class, you'll be getting these notes, right? Afterwards, please update your notes properly. Guys, one thing, trust me, if there is any interview tomorrow, fine, at that point of time, you cannot revise the complete topic which are there in Django REST API. It is not like Python, guys. Python, if I teach Python to 7th standard student, already I did that. Fine, if I teach Python to 7th standard student, he can understand. Why? Because it's very easy, right? It's a very easy programming language. Anyone can learn Python. Trust me, anyone can learn Python. Correct, right? But it's up to them whether they will learn in detail or only the creamy layer of Python. That is up to the individuals. But when it comes to Django and REST API, 100% I would teach in depth. But you have to understand that particular topic in a very better manner. It means that you have to maintain a proper notes. Is that clear? As I'm not expecting anything else apart from that. Please maintain a proper notes. Okay. Already you got the clarity for 3 terms, that is full stack, web development, Django. And in today's class, I'll not be explaining this particular topic completely, but I will give a glance of this topic. What is the next term? Please tell me in the heading, whatever I have written in the yesterday class, in the previous class. What is the next term? I want you to tell the answer very quick. Please be very quick. What is the next terminology? After Django, what is that? Full stack web development with Django and something is there. What is that? Very good. REST API. REST API. Guys, trust me, the developers who is working in the industry on REST API, or it may be the person who is having 5 years of experience in the industry that doesn't know what is the meaning of REST API. Yes or no? Most of them are not aware of this REST API. They will think that it's a separate technology and it's a very maybe it's a very difficult topic. It's very difficult to learn that thing. 100% no. When it comes to Django REST API, 100% it is easy. When it comes to REST API also, it is easy. Don't worry. I will take care about everything. Can you just tell me what is REST API? I'm very curious to get to know the answer from your end. That is the reason. Anyone? What is REST API? At least if you're not able to tell the complete answer for REST API, just tell me what is REST, what is API. Sir, simply lying on bed, that is REST. And API, that is all, sir. That is REST API. Is that the case? 100% no. Then what is REST API? Anyone? Maybe if you have heard about REST API or if you did your research on REST API, I'm just asking the question, that's all. What is REST API? Okay, fine. API means application programming interface. Okay, very good. Then what is REST? Okay. Right now, please understand properly. Just 10 minutes. I will give a complete clarity about REST API. Maybe some of them might think like REST API means web services. Okay. Okay, fine. Somewhat. Okay. Now tell me, in order to learn REST API under Django, or else in order to learn full stack web development with Django and REST API, directly you cannot learn REST API. No, only I'm telling guys, directly if I teach REST API under Django also, you will not be in a position to understand. Is that clear? Sir, is there any prerequisite, sir? 100% there is a prerequisite. What is the meaning of prerequisite? Guys, in English, what is prerequisite? Some of them will ask the doubt also. That is the reason. What is prerequisite? That means minimum condition. That's all. For example, if you want to watch a movie, there is no prerequisite. Maybe if you are a 1 year kid or if you're 18 years kid, 100% you can watch a movie. Maybe for some of the movies, there will be some age limit. Correct, right? Like that. When it comes to prerequisite, in order to learn this REST API under Django, first of all, you people should be aware of Python. Hope that you are aware of Python. Next, you should have mastered something in order to understand REST API under Django in a very better manner. Okay, what is the topic? Very good. You should be having the clarity about Django. If you're aware of Python, if you're aware of Django, then if you're learning Django REST API, it's a deadly combination. Most of them, what mistake they will commit also, I will tell. Without having the knowledge on Python, that is half-boiled knowledge on Python, without learning any topic in Django, simply they will hear the term called as Django. They will start to learn REST API. Nothing they will understand. Correct? Nothing they should understand. I'm only telling they should not understand anything. Why? Because there is no proper effort to learn Python. There is zero effort to learn Django. Directly, if they try to learn REST API, how come they will understand? It will be like a rocket science, that's all. It will be like a magic show, correct, right? That is the reason I'm telling. So then why you're teaching REST API, sir? I'm just giving the clarity, that's all. Before starting any movie, 100% there would be a teaser, there would be a trailer, correct, right? I'm just showing the trailer, that's all. What things you'll be learning in this course. That's what I'm going to tell right now. When it comes to REST API, what I will do, I will just list out the basic terminologies, but in today's class, I might not give the complete clarity about all the basic terminologies, but as and when the time comes, no one I'm telling, as and when the time comes, 100%, I will give the clarity about all the terminologies. Have this doubt at the back of your mind. Is that clear? I'll be writing some basic confusing terminologies. Is that clear? If you are having internet in your mobile, if you are aware of how to Google the things, just do one thing. That's no one I'm telling. I will not teach this particular topic today itself. That means whatever the terminology that I will list out, I will not teach. As and when the time comes, after Django, I will teach. Is that clear, guys? Today, if I teach also, I will not be able to understand. But I will tell what is REST API for the time being. Is that clear? Okay, sir, what are the technical terms? You only tell me what are the technical terms. Okay, first technical term, API. Don't worry, I will tell what is API. Next, what is the second technical term? Anyone? If you are aware of that, please do tell me the answer. Please be very quick. Very good. Web API, or some of them might be calling it as web services. Correct, right? Web API or web service. And the next technical term that will come to your mind happens to be REST. Okay, sir, what about the next technical term? REST API, or some of them might be calling it as RESTful API or RESTful Web API. Sir, what, sir? Something and all you will tell. We will not understand anything. You should not understand for the time being. Is that clear? For the time being, you should not understand this. Soon after I complete Django, 100% I will give the clarity for all the terminologies that too in detail I will speak. Right now, have the doubt in the back of your mind. And there is one more technical term, that is Django REST framework. If you master these 5 terminologies, if you get the complete clarity, if you're having the hands-on experience on these 5 terminologies, 100% you can call yourself as a API developer. Is that clear? But right now, for the time being, what I have to explain, you only tell me what is my duty right now. Don't you think my duty is very simple? I will not explain all these things. As and when the time comes after Django, I will speak. But right now, a glimpse is what I will give. Is that clear? That too, not in detail. A glimpse is what I will give about REST API. Is that clear for everyone? Shall I proceed further? Okay, great. I'll just do one thing. Instead of explaining the REST API directly, I will split the word into 2 parts. I will take API. I will take API. Okay. Anyone, if you are having the knowledge on API, please tell me what is API. At least the full form. Please tell me. Yes, please tell me the full form of API. Anyone? Couple of minutes back, I have told. I don't know whether you have observed or not. Very good. Application Programming Interface is technically referred as what? API. Application Programming Interface. Is that clear for everyone? I'm not telling the definition. Definition I will tell later. But I'm just telling the full form. That's all. Application Programming Interface. Now the question is very simple. Listen properly. Sir, what is API, sir? Explain what is API. Before taking the technical example, let me take some simple example on a daily, maybe on a daily basis, whatever the thing that you will use. I will take maybe the example number 1 I will take. When it comes to example number 1, I can just tell how many of them used mobile phone? How many of them used mobile phone? Sir, what question you are asking, sir? We are listening to the class using mobile phone. I'm just asking the mobile phone in the olden days, maybe in the initial days when the mobile got released. At that point of time, Nokia mobiles. How many of them used? Have you ever used that mobile? Okay, yeah, you can just take any mobile as such, which is having the keypad. It should not be compulsory that Nokia 1100. Sir, but why, sir? Why you will take Nokia 1100? Why? Because it's a very famous phone, correct, right? Guys, Nokia 1100 is the most selling phone at that point of time, correct, right? I have used. Okay, in that Nokia 1100, don't you think keypad will be there? Whenever you want to call someone, 100% there will be a keypad. Yes, 100% I have played that snake game. Snake game in Nokia 1100. There was one game, right? Snake game, and there was one more game. I don't remember the game name. There was one more game along with the snake game. There was one more game. Yeah, you just do your research on that. Yeah, see here in that mobile phone Nokia 1100, 100% there is a keypad. Whenever you want to operate or whenever you want to text someone or call someone, you have to use the keypad, correct, right? Without using the keypad, you cannot do anything. But right now, touchscreen is there. But back in those days, 100% you have to make use of keypad. Sir, what is keypad, sir? In layman term, buttons I can tell. Keypad means what? Buttons. Now, between you and that mobile phone, you are using that mobile, correct, right? Between the user and mobile, don't you think keypad will be acting as an interface? How many of them will agree with my point? Between the user and the mobile phone, keypad or button will be acting as interface. Interface means bridge. Interface means what? Bridge. Is that clear? Technical term interface. Maybe normal term if I have to use bridge. That's all. Sir, we are not understanding, sir. Give one more example, sir. Okay, we'll take one more example. See here, if I take another example, maybe the ATM machine I will take. ATM machine. How many of them withdrawn the amount from your ATM machine? I think your people would have visited the ATM machine, right? And you have withdrawn the money, right? Think and answer. Between the user and the ATM machine, whenever you want to withdraw some amount, don't you think there will be on screen? Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Between the ATM machine and the user, there will be on screen. In the yesterday class, I have told. Technically, what is the name given for that screen? It may be your mobile phone screen, or it may be your laptop screen, or it may be your computer screen. Technically, there is a name for that. What is that? Very good. Graphical user interface or user interface. Now tell me, this GUI or UI will be acting as an interface between the customer, that means between the people, that means between the person who wants to withdraw the money from the ATM machine, correct, right? It will be acting as interface. Guys, will you agree with my point? Okay, now listen properly. Let me just do one thing. Let me just share you the whiteboard. I hope the whiteboard is been visible for you. Now listen properly, guys. Now I'm telling how well you'll understand this diagram. Based upon that, you will get the initial clarity about REST API. Is that clear? I don't know whether people will understand or not. That is not in my hands. Explanation is what I can give. It's an initial introduction about REST API. If you're not able to understand, don't worry. 100% I will teach in detail. Observe properly. Assume that I will take on an application. Let me just take on application. Okay, sir, what is the name of the application? Maybe the name of the application happens to be anything as such. Okay, can you just people tell me the application which is developed using Django? Yesterday you have seen, right? Maybe the list of application I have written. Can people tell me one application? Okay, YouTube. Okay, Instagram. Yeah, I'll just take YouTube. Okay, I'll just take YouTube. Now tell me, this particular YouTube application is developed using Django. That is the reason I can just tell like this. This particular YouTube is a Django application. I'll just tell it's a Django application. It's a Django app or Django application, I will tell. Now tell me, if the people would have developed YouTube using Django, then it is called as Django application. For that particular developers, what is the name? What is the name given for the developer? Please tell me very quickly. What is the name given for the developer? Don't you think they'll be called as what? Django developers? Yes or no? They'll be called as Django developer. Okay. Yeah, Django developers will develop the YouTube application using Django. That is the reason it's a Django application. Now tell me, after developing the application, do you think that application will be used by Django developers or it has to be used by so many people? Assume that YouTube has been developed, right? Don't you think YouTube is being used by lakhs of people, crores together people, correct, right? That's how things will work. Now tell me, as an end user, you can access that particular YouTube using your browser, yes or no? Please do respond. As an end user, I can just tell he is the end user. Let me just tell, just a minute, I'll just arrange this properly. Okay. As an end user, maybe as an end user, you can access or you can use that particular YouTube application using the web browser, or else I can just tell browser, I will tell browser. Okay, so I'll give some example. Can people give me some example for browser? Google Chrome, Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, or Internet Explorer. Like this, plenty of browsers are there. If you try to access that particular YouTube as an end user, if you try to access that particular YouTube from the browser, don't you think it should give the access? How many of them will agree with my point? The YouTube should respond. That means the Django application should respond. Correct, right? Guys, if you're searching something or if you type YouTube in the browser, 100% it should respond back. If you send the request, it should respond back. How many of them will agree with my point? If you send the request, technically it is called as request. What is request? What is response cycle? Everything I will tell. But as of now, just try to understand. If you're sending a request, don't you think it should respond? That means it should provide the response. 100% it will provide the response. Now my question is very simple. Using which programming language they have developed browser? Any idea for anyone? Maybe the Google Chrome browser, Internet Explorer. Don't you think browser means it can be developed using any application? That means it can be developed using any programming language. Will you agree with my point? Let's please do respond. Will you agree with my point? Browser might be developed using Java, or it might be developed using Python, or it might be developed using any programming language. That means maybe if you try to access this particular YouTube using a Java application, if you try to access the browser, that is YouTube, sorry, or if you try to access that particular YouTube, which is developed using Django by using the Python application, that means there is one application developed using Python. If you try to access YouTube, it should provide the response. As well as, don't you think so many of them will use the YouTube using the mobile application? Maybe using some mobile app, you will try to access YouTube. That means very simple, guys. Best example, Instagram is a mobile application. Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Instagram is a mobile app. Along with the web app, it's a mobile app. Now think and answer. In the Instagram, if there is any link of YouTube, I don't know whether people would have observed or not. Maybe some of them will be mentioning this one. Swipe up to see the video. If you swipe up in their stories, don't you think it will redirect to the YouTube? How many of them would have observed that? Whether you have observed or not, please do respond. Yes, correct. You have observed. If you swipe up using the mobile application, don't you think if you send a request to YouTube, 100% it should respond back? Similarly, there is one XYZ application which is developed using Java. 100% if you send the request, it should respond back. Similarly, if you send the request from the any application which is developed using Python, 100% it should respond back. Now tell me, in order to send the response, 100% Django cannot distinguish. Okay, this request is coming from Java application. The request is coming from Python application. The request is coming from browser. The request is coming from mobile application. Django cannot distinguish those things. Okay, sir, then who is responsible? Who is responsible, guys? Please tell me who is responsible. Sir, something and all you are telling, but we are not able to understand, sir. As an end user, if he is trying to access from this many application, that means from this many application developed using this many languages, 100% YouTube has to respond back. But using what it will respond? If Django is not able to provide the response, then who is responsible to provide the response? Don't worry, 100% you will tell the answer. I will make you to tell the answer. I will give another layman example. This is pure technical example. Whatever I'm telling, it's a pure technical example. I will give a layman example. We'll see how many of them will tell the proper answer. Observe properly, guys. No one please observe properly. Assume that here I'll just write it down. Please listen here. There is one person. I can just tell. There is a temple. Maybe there is one temple. Maybe there is one temple. Inside the temple, maybe who will be there? Please tell me. There are some couple of people. Maybe inside temple, there are a couple of people. Correct, right? Priest, all those things will be there. Correct, right? Assume that this is a temple. I can just tell this is a temple. Inside temple, so many people will be there. But don't you think in order to visit for the temple, so many people will come from different countries? Yes or no? Yes, please do respond. So many people will come from different countries. Don't you think they have to access the temple? 100% they will be having the access to the temple. Yes, that is for sure. 100% they'll be having the access to the temple. But if the temple will respond back, that means they will get the blessings from the particular god. 100% the request, whatever they will send, response they will get. That is secondary. But if they want to inquire more about the temple, or if they want to get the proper response, don't you think the persons of the temple cannot respond back? Why? Because maybe this person is aware of English, this person is aware of Kannada, this person is aware of Telugu, and this person is aware of French. And now tell me, the persons who are there in the temple, they cannot respond back. That is the reason. Don't you think there should be some mediators? Yes or no? There will be some mediators. If a person is talking in English, if a person is talking in Kannada, if a person is talking in Telugu, if a person is talking in French, don't you think there will be some mediators? Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Mediators or translators who will translate the things to their native language. Yes or no? Yes, please be very quick in responding. There will be translator who will respond back in their native language. Similarly, this Django application cannot recognize whether the request is coming from browser, whether the request is coming from Java, Python, mobile application. That is the reason there should be a translator, or else there should be some bridge. Technically, there should be some bridge. Or even more technical, if I have to tell, there should be some mediator, or there should be some interface. Guys, between you and the mobile phone in the previous example, button was there. Between you and that particular ATM machine, that GUI was there. Similarly, between the application or end user and the Django application, there will be some interface. There will be some interface. Technically, that interface is only called as what? API. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. There will be some interface. Technically, that interface is only called as what? API. How many of them understood? Yes, please do respond. How many of them understood? There will be some interface. Technically, that interface is referred as what? API. Now see here, if you know how to develop this interface or API, that is API means what? Just now I have told. What is API? What is the full form of API? Just now I have told. I want you to tell the answer. Please repeat back. What is API? Please be very quick. Don't waste the time. What is API? Very good. Application programming interface. Application programming interface. If you are aware of how to develop this API, then you people will be called as what? What will be called as? Please tell me what you will be called as. You will be called as what? API developers. Is that clear, guys? You will be called as API developers. Now, are you trying to understand? Maybe some 10%. I'm not expecting 100%. At least, did you get the clarity about API 10%? Why API? Already there is a Django. Using Django, they have developed the application. But what is the necessity of API? You got the clarity. I'm not expecting 100%. Some 10%. You understood 10%? Okay, that's fine. Sir, what about 100%, sir? Don't worry, I will take care about that. That means whenever as an end user, in order to access the information, from any application which is developed using Django, 100%, you have to make use of what? API. That means you will not use API. Internally, API will be used. Correct, right? If you send the request will be taken by API and a request will be transferred from API to the Django application. Next, Django application will send the response. That response will be converted and according to the application, it will be given to the application. That means the response will be given to the application by API. Yes or no? Yes, it's very simple. In order to access the functionality of one application by the end user or from the other application, we should make use of API. How many of them will agree with my point? Whatever the statement that I have told. Once again, I will repeat, listen properly. To access the functionality means YouTube will be having so many functionality. Maybe you might be watching some videos or whatever it may be. In order to access the functionality of one application by the end user or from the other application, we should make use of what? API. Yes or no? I'll just do one thing. I'll just share you the notes. Okay, later you can just take the screenshot, all those things. Don't write anything. Just keep on listening. That's all. Just keep on listening. Let me just write the note point, whatever I'm just telling now. Yeah, listen properly. To access the functionality of one application by the end user or from other applications we should make use of API. One more point I will tell. Just tell me whether it is correct or not. One application can communicate with another application using interface or API. Yes or no? That's all that you have to tell is yes or no. That's all. Yes, correct. One application can communicate with other application using interface. Okay, I will write that point. Let me just quickly write that point. One application can communicate with other application using the interface or API I will tell. The main objective of API is to allow two applications to communicate in order to integrate and exchange the information. Yes or no? Guys, two applications will be there. Maybe Instagram as well as YouTube. Don't you think two applications should communicate in order to exchange the information? Maybe from Instagram, you need to watch some YouTube video. 100% it will integrate. Yes or no? Using this particular API, we can achieve that. That means using REST API, we can achieve that. Sir, what is that, sir? What is REST also, I will tell. You don't worry about that. That means the next point happens to be very simple. Listen properly. The next point, whatever I'm going to write. The main objective of API is it will allow two applications to communicate in order to integrate and exchange the information between them. Let me just write on the points. See here, the main objective of API is it will allow two applications to communicate in order to integrate and exchange the information between them. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Is that clear up until this point? Okay. Next, listen properly. API is nothing but, maybe in general, if someone is asking, what do you mean by API? API is nothing but the interface of communication between the user and application, comma, the user can be the end user, or it can be the Android application, or it can be the desktop application, or it can be the Java or Python application. Is that clear? Maybe if you just look at the diagram, you'll understand. How many of them are able to understand the diagram, whatever I have written? API is nothing but the interface of communication between the user and application. The user might be the human being, maybe the end user. I can just tell the end user can be human. That means from browser you can able to access, or from the Android application, or it might be from desktop application, or it might be any application developed using Java or Python. Is that clear? Yeah, 100%. Study online application, whatever I have developed, 100% it is same. Okay, listen properly. Listen here. Next, I hope you people got the clarity about API. Now, what is REST? Please tell me what is REST. If you're aware of REST, what is REST? Guys, completely I'll tell you how to write the diagram, notes, everything I will tell. Let me complete. Is that clear? Let me complete this. Please tell me what is REST. Think and answer. What is REST? REST means lying on the bed. That is what called as REST. At least Google it. You have your mobile phone, right? Just Google it. Just tell me what is REST. It's a very simple thing, whatever I'm asking. Representational state transfer is what the name, that means full form of REST. Is that clear? Representational state transfer, REST. Okay, sir, then what is REST? Why it is called as REST API? All those things I will tell you. Don't worry about that. Guys, it's very simple. Right now, for the time being, I will tell 2 sentences for REST. That's all. Apart from that, I'll not tell anything. Why? Because it is not necessary for the introduction. Guys, when it comes to REST, I have to speak about 6 hours. What is REST? All those things. But I cannot speak 6 hours at this point of time. I will just tell REST is just one architectural style. That's all. Is that clear? REST is an architectural style. That's all. Is that clear? Or else it will define several guidelines or rules to develop the API. Is that fine? REST is just an architectural style. It defines several rules or guidelines to develop the web API or web service. What is web API? What is web service? All those things I will tell. Right now, for the time being, can I tell these 2 points? See here. Can I tell these 2 points? REST is an architectural style. It defines several rules or guidelines to develop the web API or web service. Okay. Now listen properly. Sir, give some normal examples, sir. We are not able to understand what is REST. For example, if you want to build a house, don't you think you have to follow some procedure? Yes or no? If you want to build a house, 100% you have to follow some procedure. Correct, right? Directly you cannot build the 3rd floor and suddenly you cannot come for the ground floor. You cannot do that, right? First of all, you have to make sure that the pillars are proper. Next, ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor. Like that only you have to go, right? Yes or no? Directly you cannot construct a 4th floor without constructing a ground floor. Same thing. Whenever you want to build an API, you have to follow some architectural style. That architectural style is only called as what? REST. And it defines several rules, guidelines to develop the web API. Is that clear for everyone? Yes, please do respond. Is that clear for everyone? Okay. After this, I would like to give one important point, but complete clarity for this particular point, whatever I'm going to write now. I'm going to write it right now. You will be getting after a couple of days once I start the REST API. Is that clear? That means right now, if you want me to tell why REST API is used, one technical term I can tell. REST API is used to achieve interoperability. Is that fine? Can people repeat the term, whatever I have told? REST API will be used to achieve interoperability. Sir, what is interoperability, sir? The new terminology you're telling. Interoperability means very simple. It's the ability of the softwares to exchange the information. That's all. Is that clear? Guys, best example, if you want me to show this interoperability, don't you think this is one software, this is another software, these two softwares are exchanging the information? Yes or no? I can just tell information is being exchanged. Information is being exchanged 100% between the Java application as well as the Django application. The information is being exchanged. Not only Java, Python, mobile application, whatever it may be, information is being exchanged. And now tell me, technically, what is that called as? Just now I have told one technical term. What is that? Guys, please make sure that you will be aware of the technical term. That is very important. What is the technical term that I have told? Very good. Interoperability. Is that clear? Interoperability. That means it's the ability of softwares to exchange the information. That is the reason basically we will use REST API. Is that clear? I'll just do one thing. I'll just share you the notes. Okay, I hope the notes is being shared. Okay, let me just give some note points. That means using REST API. What is REST API? I have not told. That means API I have told. REST I have told. What is REST API? I have not told. Why? Because as and when the time comes, you'll understand. Is that clear? Using REST API, we can achieve interoperability. Interoperability means the ability of the softwares to exchange the information. That's all. Is that clear for everyone? Shall I proceed further? Yes, please do respond. Shall I proceed further? Okay. Just do one thing in your notes. Forget about notes. Notes maybe later you can write. Maybe directly if you're writing in the notes, well and good. If you're leaving sufficient amount of space. But I would suggest you to write in a sheet of paper. Later write a proper notes. I hope you people would have taken the heading as REST API. And please write this and highlight this one. And basic terminologies, I have not given the clarity. As and when the time comes, I will give. And when it comes to API, I have given the definition of API. What is the definition of API? First, what is API? Application Program Interface. That means it will be acting a bridge between the two applications. Some note point I have given. Guys, in detail, I have not spoke. Now only I'm telling in detail, I have not spoke about API. I have just given a glimpse about API. That's all. Is that clear? After example number 1 and example number 2, you have to write the diagram. Now do one thing. Please take the screenshot of the diagram. I want everyone to take the screenshot. The complete diagram you have to write. Whenever you're writing the diagram, please make sure that you will tilt your notes. That means just rotate your notes and write properly. Why? Because whenever you're revising, you have to revise. I need not to revise your notes, correct? Right? You have to revise your notes in order to get a job. Or if you're working in the domain of Django REST API, that is the reason I'm telling. Please write properly the notes. Okay, I hope you have taken the screenshot. Let me just share you the notes. Okay, after the notes, note point you have to write, and these minute points you have to write. Is that clear? Just take some 10 seconds of time, 10 to 15 seconds of time, or more than that. Just read these points, whatever I have written. Please read all the points. Later you can write. Guys, in between the class, I will not be providing the time to write on the notes. Please read all the points. Okay, is that done by going through these particular points? Shall I proceed further? Please do respond. Okay, that's great. Fine. Let us just move on to the next topic. Okay, sir, what is the next topic? Yeah, are you people aware of networking in Python? That means in Python, have you learned, maybe have you learned networking? Okay, fine, then no issues. Maybe it is not necessary for Django and REST API, but the few terminologies is what I required. That is the reason I'm just asking the question, that's all. Please see here. When it comes to networking, can people tell me what is networking? Basically, what is networking? Establishing the network between two system or computers is technically referred as what? Networking, yes or no? Establishing the network between two system is called as what? Networking. Okay. Now the question is very simple. I want everyone to listen this properly. Maybe diagram is what I'm gonna write. Let me just open the whiteboard. In the whiteboard, I'll be writing one diagram. Just tell me the answer. Assume that this is client. Or else I can just tell like this. He is a developer. I can just tell he is a developer. Okay. As a developer, what is their duty? Don't you think as a developer, they will develop the application? After developing the application, don't you think somewhere they have to keep their application? Technically, I can just tell the application happens to be web application. I can just tell the application happens to be web application. After developing the web application, what they will do? They'll keep their application somewhere else. Or where they have to keep? Please tell me. Where they will keep the web application? Don't you think they will keep their web application inside the server? Yes or no? Inside the server, they will keep their web application. 100% that is correct. So what is server? All those things as days progress, you'll understand. But right now, web application will be there in server. And now tell me, simply they will not develop that web application and simply they will not keep it in server. What they have to do? Don't you think it has to be hosted onto the internet? Why? Because it has to be used by several computers, right? Yes or no? It has to be hosted. I'll just tell like this. Whatever the application that is web application which is there in the server, they will upload. I can just tell they will upload to the internet. Assume this happens to be the internet. I can just tell this happens to be the internet. Yeah, this happens to be the internet. Okay. What is the process called as? After developing any application as such, if you are uploading to the internet, what it is technically called as? Uploading, or don't you think it is called as hosting? Technically, it is called as hosting. Hosting your application on the internet. Sir, why, sir? Why we have to host, sir? Why? Because don't you think through this internet, several computers will be connected? Yes or no? Through this internet, several computers, there are lakhs together, crores together computers will be connected. But I'm just writing only 3 systems. Why? Because I cannot write all the crores together computer and all. I'm just writing 3 systems. See here, I can just tell this is client. Client means we people. I can just tell this is client machine 1. Similarly, let me just copy this. Okay, client machine 2. Similarly, this happens to be the client machine 3. Like this, plenty of clients will be there who will be having the access to internet. Now think and answer. Don't you think if that particular application is there in the internet, we can download that application? How many of them will agree with my point? We can download the application. That's very simple. Let me just take the web application happens to be Google. I will just take the web application happens to be Google. Guys, please be very attentive in the class. Just observe properly. I'll just tell that application happens to be Google. Okay. Now see here that Google application, whatever the server is there, right? It is available in the internet. From the internet, don't you think you can access Google? Yes or no? If Google is there in the internet, from the internet only you're accessing the Google, right? Yes or no? 100% yes. Now think and answer. I want everyone to think and answer. If you want to access Google from the internet as a client, yeah, 100% you can access. I'm not telling you cannot access. 100% you can access. But what is my question is how you will access? That is my question. How you will access? Don't you think you have to enter something? What you have to enter? In the browser, in the client's browser, don't you think you have to enter the URL? Yes or no? Yes, you have to enter your website name or URL. Maybe URL you have to enter or the website name. You have to enter the website name. Now tell me, what is the website name or URL of Google? You will type www.google.com. Correct, right? That is what you will type. But internally, in order to call that particular Google server, something will happen. What will happen? Please tell me. If you're telling google.com, 100% Google will be opened in your laptop or desktop. That is fine. But don't you think if you're calling Google, in background something will happen? What is that? Yeah, I know request will be sent. 100% from the client, request will be sent and you'll be getting the response. That is for sure. But don't you think every computer will be having the IP address? That is what my main intention. Every computer will be having IP address. Correct, right? That means in the background, the IP address, I can just tell in the background, the IP address of Google will be entered. Sir, who will enter, sir? You need not enter. If you are entering this particular URL, automatically the IP address of Google will be entered. Is that clear? Don't worry, guys. As and when the days comes, I will show how that particular thing will be converted into IP address. Not only IP address, port number. As I want to get the clarity from your side, the IP address as well as port number. That is the reason I'm explaining this particular topic, nothing else. Actually, you should have learned what is IP address, what is port number in Python. That means in the networking concept. If you're not aware of that, just observe, I will teach. Is that fine? Okay, technically, what do you mean by IP address? Please tell me what is IP address. As IP address means very simple. Name of the computer, yes or no? Name of the computer. Technical IP address means what? Name of the computer. Sir, what you're telling, sir? Name of the computer is called as IP address. 100% yes. Name of the computer is called as what? IP address. Sir, can you just give me some example? 100% I'll give the example. Just observe properly. I'll just write, let me just do one thing. These things I'll just bring it down. And within one box, I will put it. Okay. Right now, I'm using a laptop, correct, right? And I'm using Zoom application. Don't you think Zoom application will be running on one port number? Yes or no? As what is port number? Just please have patience. In a couple of minutes, you'll understand what is port number. But right now, don't you think my laptop will be having an IP address? Yes or no? That you tell me. My laptop will be having IP address. Yes or no? 100% yes. Sir, how to check, sir? How to check the IP address? Sir, it is very simple. Go to command prompt. How to go to command prompt in Windows? See here. You just type Windows R. That is what the shortcut. Type CMD. Windows R CMD. Click on enter. IP config. That is what the command. Is that fine? If you type IP config and press enter, see here the IP address of my laptop has been displayed. This is what the IP address of my laptop. Yes or no? Same thing in your laptop also it will come. Now think and answer. I am using Zoom application and I am using the Notepad application and I might be using Chrome browser application. All the application will be running in one port number. Yes or no? These things you would have learned in multi-threading. Correct, right? These things you would have learned in multi-threading. That means multiple applications will be running. Why? Because nobody is using single tasking operating system. Everyone are using multitasking operating system. Multitasking should happen means what? Multiple applications are running. 100% port numbers will be given. What is that port number? If you're not having the clarity, don't worry, I will teach. Is that clear? At least for the time being, what you have to understand, as a client, if you want to access any server, you will directly not enter the IP address and port number, but in the background, IP address and port number are necessary. Is that clear for everyone? That you understood. That's all. That you understand. Okay, fine. Just do one thing, guys. Please take the screenshot of this. I want you to take the screenshot of this diagram. Please take the screenshot. How many of them? Okay. How many of them understood what is the meaning of IP address? Okay, that's great. Maybe some of them are not getting the clarity about port number. Don't worry, I will teach what is port number. 100% I will teach what is port number. If you would have taken the screenshot of this diagram, I will teach what is port number. Observe properly. Can people tell me the most powerful software in the laptop? Maybe if you just consider a laptop or desktop, or it may be anything, any machine if you take, which is the most powerful software? Very good. The most powerful software happens to be OS. That means what? Operating system. OS means what? Operating system. I'll just tell operating system. Operating system. Okay. Now think and answer. Assume this happens to be the hard disk drive. You know, right? Hard disk. Or else, do you want me to teach what is hard disk, RAM, all those things? No, right? Hope that everyone are aware of what is hard disk, what is operating system, what is RAM. I will tell this happens to be the hard disk drive. I can just tell this happens to be the hard disk drive. I'm not very good at writing the diagrams. Please do bear me. Maybe somewhat I will write. Okay, assume this happens to be the hard disk drive. I can just tell this is hard disk, HDD, hard disk drive. And next, I will tell this happens to be the RAM. I can just tell this happens to be the RAM. You know, right? What is RAM? What is hard disk? Okay, well and good. You just take the example of my laptop itself. You just take the example of my laptop. In my laptop, so many applications are opened, correct? Right? Please, can people tell me which is the first application? Whatever you're listening to the class, which is the first application? Yes, please be very quick. Don't waste the time. No one I'm telling. Please don't waste the time. Very good. Zoom. Okay. Next, in order to type the notes, I'm using something. What is that? Notepad. That is also an application. 100% Notepad. Next, in between, I'm using something. What is that? Google Chrome. Yes or no? Google Chrome. Like this, plenty of applications might be running in the background in my laptop, but I'm just writing the important application, whatever you have noticed. Correct, right? These are the applications which are available in laptop right now. That means these are the applications which are there in the hard disk drive, which are running in the background. Now tell me, if I'm using Zoom, if I'm using Notepad, or if I'm using Google Chrome, if I double click on Google Chrome, it will be loaded onto the what? Hard disk drive. Listen properly, guys. Whatever the technical terms that I will use, if I double click on Zoom application, it will be loaded by operating system on the hard disk drive. If I double click on Notepad, it will be loaded onto the hard disk drive using the operating system. But one software is responsible for loading Zoom application on the hard disk, Notepad on the hard disk, or any application as such on the hard disk. What is that software name? Very good. Loader. The software name happens to what? Loader. Loader software is responsible to load the application onto the hard disk drive. That means the line of control will be there with the operating system. Operating system will give the line of control to loader in order to load the application whenever you click on that. If you want to use that application, don't you think that application should be there on the RAM? How many of them will agree with my point? If you are using Zoom, 100%, it should be loaded on the RAM. Similarly, it should be loaded on the RAM, the Notepad or the Google Chrome. Technically, this process is only called as what? Loading process. Loading process. I can just tell loading process. Okay. Now tell me, while loading these particular applications on the RAM, one person will come into picture or one software will come into picture. That software is under the control of operating system. That software will be under the control of what? Operating system. What is the name of the software? Which will load the applications onto the RAM, and it will allocate the port number. Why port number? I will tell. But what is the name of the software? Please be very quick. What is the name of the software? Guys, I'm just writing the initial letter. You have to tell the answer. What is the name of the software? Guys, all these things are basics. One software is responsible to load the application, which whatever it is there in the hard disk drive, to the RAM. What is the name of the software? Process scheduler. What is the name? Can you please repeat? Process scheduler or scheduler? Process scheduler is responsible to load the application from the hard disk drive into what? RAM. That means this application, that is Zoom application, will be available here. Next, Notepad will be available here. Next, Google Chrome will be available here. Now tell me, guys, I'm just teaching what is port number. That is the reason I'm explaining all these things, all this story. Okay. Now see here, right now I'm using Zoom. This process scheduler, what he will do, he will give the control to Zoom application. Suddenly what I will do, I will double click on Notepad. That means I will open Notepad. Don't you think from the Zoom application, the control should be given to Notepad? Next, suddenly what I will do, I will open Google Chrome. That means from the Notepad, the line of control should be given to what? Google Chrome. Next, from Google Chrome, suddenly again, that means in the background, the Zoom application is running. Yes or no? That means the whiteboard. From Google Chrome, I will open the whiteboard. That means right now, whatever you're seeing, that is called as whiteboard. I will open whiteboard. Now tell me, if I open the whiteboard, technically the line of control is getting moved from one application to another application. That means very simple, guys. Assume that in your home, fine, your mother is cooking dosa or chapati, whatever it may be. Maybe in your home, some family members will be there, correct, right? Maybe your mother, while giving that chapati or dosa, what she will do? Simply, she will not throw the chapati or she will not throw that dosa. She will call by your name, yes or no? Maybe my mother will call, Sandesh, come and take this chapati. Maybe next, my brother will shout. And maybe my mom will call my brother's name, Suhas, come and take chapati. Next, my dad. Are you getting my point? That means my mom will call the name, yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? In order to interact with all of us, she will use the name. Similarly, process scheduler is responsible for taking the line of control and giving it to another application. Don't you think some name should be there? It will not use the name. Rather, while loading the application to the RAM, it will create one table. Okay, sir, what is the table or how does the table will look like? This is how the table will look like. Maybe in this table, 2 columns will be there. Okay, sir, which are those 2 columns? The first column name happens to be process name. Because it's a process, right? It's a process. I can just tell these things are called as what? Process, or technically it will be called as tasks that are executing on the RAM. That means what is process or task? Program under execution. That's all. Technically program under execution. I cannot teach complete multi-threading. No one I'm telling. I'm just giving the clarity about port number. That's all. Process name. I can just tell this happens to be the first column name happens to be process name. Second column name, port number, or some of them might be calling it as process ID, or some of them might be calling it as PID, process ID or PID. Let me just arrange in the proper manner. Okay, is that clear for everyone right now? Okay, I hope it's visible for everyone. Please tell me, how many processes are there? Don't you think there are 3 processes that are getting executed? Zoom, next Notepad, next Google Chrome. While loading the application on the RAM, this process scheduler will create one table. After creating the table, what it will do, it will allocate, while loading the Zoom application, it will allocate a respective port number. For example, random port number. It may be anything. I tell 8888. This 8888 will be given for what? Zoom application. Next time, if the process scheduler wants to interact with a particular process, it will make use of what? Port number. Is that clear? Next, when it comes to Notepad, while loading the Notepad on the particular RAM, it will give some random number. I can just tell 7878. Here also 7878 I will tell. In the table I'm just writing. It is 7878. Similarly, while loading Google Chrome, 100% it would give some port number. Maybe the port number happens to be 7070. Same thing would be recorded in the table. Now tell me, don't you think it would be very easy for the process scheduler in order to take the line of control and give it to another process, take the line of control, give it to another process? Yes or no? Easily it can remember. Why? Because it has only given the name, it has only given the port number, right? It's a number, that's all. How many of them understood? And now tell me, if you people are aware of multi-threading in Python, what is the technical term used for this? Taking the line of control from one process and giving it to another process by process scheduler is technically referred as what? It's a very important question. What is that? No, it's not called as multitasking. There is one name for that. What is that? No, it is not called as multitasking. Yeah, obviously multitasking is happening, but what is the name? Taking the line of control from one process and giving it to another process. Simultaneously, these things will happen in the background. What is the name called as? Have you ever heard about context switching? Context switching? Yes or no? Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond. Whatever I have explained. What is context switching? Who is responsible? What is port number? Everything I have told. It's very simple. Port number is an address or unique number generated by process scheduler under the control of operating system. That is what the definition. Next, port number will be used to execute the process or task present on the RAM. In case of multitasking operating system, multiple processes will be executed simultaneously using the port number. This is technically referred as what? Context switching. Context switching is the process of taking the line of control from one process and giving it to another process. Is there any doubt in the technical terms, whatever I have told, for anyone? Yes, please tell me, is there any doubt for anyone? Okay, just do one thing. Please take the screenshot of this diagram. Please take the screenshot. I can just tell this is diagram number 3, if I'm not wrong. This is D3, I will tell. Diagram number 3. This is D3. I hope you have taken the screenshot. Next, this is D2, I will tell. D2, diagram number 2. Next, this is D1, I will tell. This is D1, okay. I hope you have taken the screenshot of diagram number 1, diagram number 2, diagram number 3. Now I'll just do one thing. I'll just go back to the notes. This is diagram number 1. Where is diagram number 1? Okay, diagram number 1. Next, where is diagram number 2? I'm only not getting that. Where is diagram number 1? Where I have written? No, diagram number 2. Okay, here I have written. Okay, diagram number 2. Soon after diagram number 2, please write diagram number 3. Diagram number 3. After these two diagrams, yeah, very good. Some applications will be having a default port number. Very good question. I will let you know why some of the application will be having a default port number in order to increase the stability. For the time being, you understand. In order to increase the stability, some of the application will be having default port number. If you consider MySQL, I don't know whether people are aware of MySQL or not. There is a default port number for that. What is the port number of MySQL? Anyone? Please tell me what is the default port number. We'll see how many of them will tell the proper answer. For MySQL, there is a default port number. What is that? Guys, what is the port number for MySQL? The default port number. Just do your research and please do tell me the answer. Correct? 3306. Why there is a default port number? 100%. If I'm speaking in detail about the port number in Django, you'll understand. But right now, a glimpse is what I have given. Why? Because today happens to be the day 2, right? I cannot explain in detail in the day 2 itself. I'm just giving the glimpse. Is that clear for everyone? Guys, please do respond. Okay. Before writing this diagram number 3, you just take the heading as port number. Later, you can just write the diagram number 3. Afterwards, you have to write a couple of note points, whatever I have told. I think already I have discussed the note points. Let me just paste the note points. Observe properly. It's very simple, guys. See here, port number is the address or unique number generated by process scheduler under the control of operating system. Next, port number will be used in order to execute the process or task which are available on the RAM. Next, in case of multitasking operating system, multiple processes will be executed simultaneously using the port number. That is context switching. Is that clear? Context switching is the process of taking the line of control from one process and giving it to another process. Is there any doubt for anyone in this technical terms, whatever I have used? Please do respond. Is there any doubt? I want a proper response from your end. Shall I proceed further? Or else you want me to halt the technical discussion here? That is up to your wish. Just listen here. If I start the next topic also, 100% there is a correlation. Guys, one thing, I'm such a trainer on who is not going to rush in the topics. Sometimes I might take 2 hours of class based upon the topic. Now I'm telling. Sometimes I might end the class by taking 1 hour, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It will be purely based upon the topic. Is that clear? Okay, fine. We'll just do one thing. We'll halt the technical discussion here.